2024 was a weird year for bourbon, and it produced a weird pick for Bourbon of the Year. And if you want to find out what my 2024 Bourbon of the Year is, then stick around. Before we get started, Wes, what do you think we should do?
I think we should thank the patrons.
I
Because
think
you know
we
what
should.
day it is?
It's Thank a Patron Day.
It's Thank a Patron Day.
You know what's funny is somebody heard you say that in a video and commented, and they're like, "What? I didn't know that was a thing."
It is.
Yeah,
It is
we
a
made
thing.
it up, but
And it's every time.
Every day is Thank a Patron
Every
Day.
Friday.
Yeah.
So, yes, it is Friday as you're watching this, and it is Thank a Patron Day. So, let's give a round of applause for all of our patrons. I mean, the names on your screen right now are those faithful patrons on our top tier packages. There's lots to choose from, something for every budget. So if you want to learn more about our patron packages, stick around to the end of this video, and we'll give you all the deets.
We'll give you the dates. All right, some disclaimers. So I did really poorly this year at getting the usual suspects for
The GTSs.
I
and
didn't
all
get
the-
any BTAC. I didn't get
wow.
any. Well, I got the Van Winkle Family Reserve rye, but it can't be Bourbon of the Year.
That was in January, though, wasn't it?
No, I got it in
was right
December.
before okay.
Yeah. And I didn't get Old Forester Birthday Bourbon. I didn't get Aged Taylor Barrel Proof. I didn't get any of the usual suspects. I got kind of skunked this year. So, if I didn't get the bottle, obviously I can't consider it as Bourbon of the Year. And I will also warn you that when you see this bottle, you're going to be like, what? Bourbon of the Year is going to be very different from what all the other content creators are saying.
Which is why the title is called Shocking.
Shocking, yeah. And but I'm going to explain why, and I think you're going to agree that I made a good decision, okay?
Okay.
So first, let's talk about the contenders.
Okay.
One contender was the Old Forester 1924 that I got.
Okay, I'm sipping that right now.
Yeah.
And I can see why you would
It's
call
solid.
it contender.
It's 100 proof. It's 10 years old.
Yep.
Brown form and liquid.
The
It's
MSRP's up there, though.
It's $120.
Yeah.
Which is
So-
$12 per year of age, which is kind of the limit. But you usually don't see that high of a price from legacy distillers per year of age. Normally, they're able to get a little bit below that. The $12 per year of age is typically for non-distiller producers.
Let me ask you this, Randy.
Mm-hmm.
When you're considering your Bourbon of the Year, are you taking price-quality ratio into consideration, or you're just going based on taste alone?
I start with taste, and then I may change my rank based on quality price ratio.
Okay.
So the second contender is this guy right here, 13th
Yep.
Century. I've done maybe 3 videos.
We've got some episodes with that.
Yeah, on that one. It's 141.4 proof hazmat. It's 7 to 9 year old barrels. And it's MGP distillate, but it's aged in Colorado, various char levels, all of that stuff. And so he kind of blends all of that stuff together to make the profile that he's looking for.
Yeah.
And that one, when I was writing this episode, I looked, it's still available on Silbach, but it's $150. But
Yeah,
that
that's
was, and you're a
so
big
far.
GTS guy,
I
right?
am.
Yeah.
I love GTS.
So this was one that when I first tasted it, I was like, hold on a second. Is there a chance that I like this as much as GTS?
It was close.
And I got my GTS down and I put them side by side. And as much as I love 13th Century, I'm happy to report my king of all time has not been dethroned. So
It was a close call,
It was
though.
a close call. The fact that I even had the thought said something.
Yeah.
So that was under consideration.
It was like the bullet nicked the ear moment.
Yeah,
It was
yeah.
a close call.
It was a
you
close
know?
call.
Almost got him.
Almost got him.
Yeah.
And then I thought about maybe Russell's Reserve Single Rick House CNF. And
okay.
I started to research it, and it's like, wait a minute, you bought that in 2024, but it's actually a 2023 release.
Okay.
And I also drank it all. So I do have a CMC, which is from the year before. I didn't get a CNB, which is from this year, so maybe that one could have been. But these are also quite expensive. Do you know what the SRP on the Single Rick House is? It $299?
I wanted to say $300.
Yeah, I think it's $300 for the CNCs. And so those were kind of some of my top pours that I had that I really, really liked that I wanted to consider. But then I started thinking about it, and we're going to go a different direction.
Okay.
Are you ready to see?
I am ready. Cue
what
the drum roll.
Drum roll. Can I get a little? Barrel foundation.
Wow.
Yeah.
A barrel as the top contender of
As
the
the
year.
top contender. Now, okay.
Wow.
I'm not saying that this is the best tasting bourbon that I tried from 2024.
Okay. What are you saying then?
I'm saying that it represents what is happening with the bourbon hobby today.
Okay.
And it is, in my opinion, it represents the way forward for producers.
In a sense, it's the foundation.
It's the foundation that's going to keep bourbon alive.
Wow.
And the reason why I'm saying that, so this bottle is a blend, and that's what Barrel's known for. They're non-distiller producers. They source whiskey from other companies. They bring it in, they blend it to their profile. But this one was very different. So it's got 8-year Kentucky MGP whiskey that's 5, 6, and 9-year-old. It has Dickel 8-year-old, and it's got Maryland whiskey that's 5 and 6-year-old in it.
Yeah.
Okay. So if you don't know this, in American spirits, whatever the youngest spirit is, that's the age of the spirit. So if you had 99.999999999% of a 9-year and you put 1 drop of 5-year in it, you cannot put an age above 5 on the label. So that's why it's age stated at 5 years. It is 100 proof, but the significant thing is it was $58.
Really?
Wow.
And non-distiller producers in the last few years have not been able to release anything with any reasonable age on it for under $60 because the barrel market's just been bonkers, out of control. And so when I was thinking about what do I want to say is the whiskey of the year that represents 2024, I was like, the first non-distiller producer to come out with the sub $60 whiskey that tastes amazing, it's a solid proof, it's a reasonable price, deserves to be whiskey of the year.
I knew I was a bigger Bourbon Real Talk fan than you.
How do you know that?
Well, because I don't just use a prideful goat, Glenn. I got an official Bourbon Real Talk tumbler.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
Well, I got this Bourbon Real Talk lanyard to carry my whiskey glass in.
Oh, well, speaking of whiskey glasses, do you have one of these?
No, I don't.
Rocks glass.
Oh, yeah?
Yep, official.
Well, I love my wife, and I bought her this official whiskey wife flask from Bourbon Real Talk.
Well, that's cute and everything, but I got my wife one of these.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah,
Well,
and you can just add your own liquor, and it's an actual cocktail right there in a jar.
Me and my wife like to make cocktails, so we got this simple syrup off the
Oh,
website.
do you?
Yeah.
Okay, well, do you and your wife have one of these? This is an official sticker. You can only get these on the website.
No, but I do have these official coasters that have the Bourbon Real Talk logo on them, and I'm representing.
Well, while you're representing those little coasters of yours, I've got an aroma kit.
Do you?
Yeah, so I can smell literally everything in bourbon. Everything.
Well, I don't have that, but I do have this sample box that I keep all my samples in because I'm part of the community and I share samples.
Yeah, but do you have Glen toppers that are officially Bourbon Real Talk?
I don't have that, but I do have this large whiskey carrying case for my glasses so that I don't break them.
See, I knew you had that. That's why I have the smaller version, okay? It packs more easily into your suitcase. I don't have to mess with that big old thing, okay?
Suitcase, that's for lamos. Check this thing out. I have a Bourbon Real Talk bottle carrying bag. You can't beat that.
I don't know if I can because...
And on top of that, I have a Bourbon Real Talk t-shirt. I'm the bigger fan.
Oh, I can beat that. Is it extra schmedium?
No, I don't have an extra medium.
Ha! Extra schmedium.
You might be the bigger fan. You win.
I knew it.
So whether you're a Bourbon Real Talk superfan or simply looking for quality whiskey swag, head over to bourbonrealtalk.com today.
Can I have a little sippy
You
poo?
can, yeah, go ahead.
Let me get a little sippy poo.
I'm
of this.
going to have to buy another bottle to do the
You're making me,
giveaways.
I'm gonna have to kill off this other one real quick and dive
Yeah.
into that.
Yeah, because I gotta see what you're talking about. Because I mean, sub 60 is borderline bottom shelf banger, but
Well,
This is
and I
pretty
get
awesome.
it. There's a lot of people out there. You guys comment, and you've got a $30 max budget, you got a $40 max budget. Respect that. There's always going to be great whiskeys on the shelf for you to try, and this may be out of a lot of people's price range, and that's great. But as a non-distiller producer that is been putting together releases for the Prideful Go, I know how difficult it was to blend something that tastes this good that you could release for under $60 through distribution. And keep in mind, when you're seeing a $58 bottle, Barrel's probably only making about $30 of that.
Yeah.
Maybe a little less. And so for them to be able to, have a nice glass bottle with a real cork and, their label has some texture on it, all of these things, all these little details, they all cost extra money. And for them to release something that's at this price range, the only problem with Barrel Foundation is that this channel has a great relationship with Barrel, and they send us a lot of their new releases for us to review. This ruined me.
Yeah.
Because most of their releases are $89.99 or $99.99, and I'm like, I'll just drink Foundation.
Right.
Like,
No, this is delicious.
it's a solid.
It's a banger.
What do y'all think of it? What are you tasting?
So this may be a weird, which I would say this is one of the first bourbons I've ever got this on the nose, but like leathery, like a little bit of a leather.
A little leather, okay.
That's something new for me. I've never had that really, and I don't know if I'm just smelling something else here, but
There's something
It's probably your
kind of
beard
like
oil.
It might be my beard oil.
Yeah.
No, I'm getting a little leathery note, like a.
I just get a real nice, like, fruit medley. There's a little bit of a floral note in there. Of course, there's a nice vanilla that almost comes across like it's creamy. It's like a melted vanilla ice cream.
Yep.
You ever drink the melted ice cream out of the bowl after you get done?
I was about to say frozen yogurt.
Yeah. Yeah.
I do on the. I am getting a little nuttiness though.
I do get a hint of nuttiness. Yeah.
Nuttiness.
A little bit of mature oak.
And what's interesting to me is that there is some Dickel liquid in this.
Yep.
And normally, if you put a drop of liquid in it, Dickel in it, I can smell it from across the room.
Yeah.
I don't get the B vitamin note on this.
Right.
So
That's good.
Hate me for picking a weird one, but I think that this represents, brands like Barrel, other non-distiller producers, they're going to have to come up with creative ways to release higher age, better flavored whiskeys at much lower prices than they've been doing it in the past.
Yeah.
And in my opinion, this was the first great representation of that. So my Bourbon of the Year is Barrel Craft Spirits Foundation at $58.
That's a great pick.
You guys have any other thoughts on whiskeys that you enjoyed quite a bit this year?
Man, I really do enjoy the 1924. But it is pricey.
Yeah.
So I could definitely see, okay, if I could get one of these or get two of these.
Right. Which would you
I'm
do?
grabbing two of
Yeah.
the Foundations,
And that was one of my thoughts is, because there's kind of two categories for the normal contenders, right? You've got the George C. Staggs and the William LaRue Wellers, and it kind of sucks if I name one of those as Whiskey of the Year because it's really luck whether or not you get one.
Right.
Yeah.
Right? And then there's the other end of the spectrum where they're great, but most people don't have access to them because they're so expensive, like a 11-year Willet Purple Top or something that's $400, right?
Or even your Russell's 15 up there.
Or
which,
the Russell's 15.
That Russell's 15
or-
is fantastic. It's a fantastic pour.
It's a fantastic pour, but I don't think that represents 2024 very well.
No, and the thing with Russell's too, it's out of most people's price points.
Yeah.
That's part of the issue.
Yeah.
And people are tired of camping outside of liquor stores when there's good pours that are just sitting there.
Right.
Oh, absolutely.
Right.
And you hit the nail on the head. 2024, for most of us, was a tough year, just economy-wise, finance-wise. And so you had to get a little bit more tricky with your bourbon
Yeah.
choices, right?
Yeah.
You had to look for those more affordable bangers. And so I could definitely see why you picked this as the 2024 king.
All right, so we're going to give away some sample packs, and I figured the only thing that would make sense would be to give away 3 1-ounce sample packs of all of the whiskeys that I said were contenders. So obviously you're going to get Barrel Foundation. Don't get nervous. I'm going to buy another bottle.
I'm going to buy a bottle too.
There you go.
I'll probably grab one myself.
Old Forester,
It's
1924, 13th century reserve bourbon. That's the hazmat. And I don't have any CNF, but I have Russell's Reserve Single Rickhouse CNC, which was the first release of Single Rickhouse.
Okay.
And tell them what they have to do to win.
It's pretty simple. I don't know of an easier way to get free whiskey, and that is just like the video, subscribe to the channel, make sure you ring the bell. Ringing the bell is going to notify you of future episodes, and you're going to want to tune in the future because every episode has a giveaway. So go ahead and tune in the future. And then last but not least, go to the description below, fill out the web form for the giveaway. That's just your basic contact info so we can get in touch with you if you are our winner. And that's the info that we'll use to run our randomizer to pick our winner. So pretty easy.
Yeah. And if you like this content, you want to support the channel, there are 3 ways. There's links in the video description below. We've got the Patreon, which we mentioned earlier. There's price points for every budget, lots of benefits. We do merch, lots of great things that solve whiskey problems for whiskey enthusiasts. And lastly, I'm a real estate agent, and I operate in the Dallas and Houston metro area. So if you need residential real estate services, you can click that link and reach out to me right there. And if this is your first time tuning into the channel, we'd love to tell you what we're all about, and that's using whiskey as a conduit to bring people together to create community and connection. And that's a mission of mine. I lost my brother to suicide. He had been losing some of those social connections that keep us bound to this world, and I wanted to find ways to help build it, and I saw whiskey doing that as I got involved in the whiskey enthusiast world. And so we created this channel thinking maybe if we got you connected to whiskey, the whiskey will do the rest and get you connected to others. But you do have to have a forum to get that done, and a lot of the forums have negativity out there, and Wes convinced me to start Bourbon Real Talk Community, which is a free Facebook enthusiast community. You can go join right now. We got about 32,000 members. We do a lot of great things in there, including some philanthropy. We have been able to start our own suicide prevention nonprofit called Live Stay Project. And so we are just out there trying to do it and create connection. But we did add a special sign-off on every one of our episodes because when we looked at those other forums and we saw that negativity, it made me realize if there's someone out there that can be hateful and mean to you online, there's nothing that keeps me from showing love to you online. And that's why we end every episode the same way, and that's this. If you woke up this morning and you're unsure whether or not anyone loved you, just know that we love you. We'll see you next time on Bourbon Real Talk. Cheers.
Cheers, guys.
It's not bad, bro.
It's got a good nose.
All right. You're drinking something else, Wes.
Oh, sorry.
You
You know who else has a good nose? Had a good nose? Michael Jackson.
And then he got rid of it.
Got rid of it.
So
I don't know
weird.
why.
Yeah.
God.
Totally changed it. He had
I
a good
know.
nose.
It's like he
It's
had
a
a
great
great
nose.
nose, bro.
It was a great nose, and then turned
It
out
wasn't the same.
it ended up
It
not a
wasn't.
great nose.
Let's get
Finish
weird.
on the finish wasn't good. You know.
Yeah. It wasn't good on the finish, no.
Good
After
job.
that, he looked like Skeletor.
It was kind of cool though. It was like pushed up, like if you shove someone's neck.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
yeah.
like he got one of
Yeah.
these
He
jobs.
got one of those.
and
Bam!
just never recovered.
Did he have the ability, like, is to defend himself, like that, and then, like, he could shoot.
Yeah, he could shoot
If I did
letters.
it, it'd go down.
Right.
But if he did it, it'd go straight out.
Straight out at you. Projectiles.
You got to consider these things.
It's a nose. I mean, it's
Yeah.
not like we're talking about it.
A whiskey troll is a person who seeks negative attention and uses contrarian attitudes to derail civil discussion in online forums. They communicate in ways they never would face to face because they're keyboard warriors. Their only goal is to make other people feel inferior.
Hey guys, I'm new here. I just got my first Blanton's.
And trust me, you probably paid way too much.
I don't care much about the Blantons, but nice.
There's no way that she didn't buy that at secondary. Idiot.
Oh, I know how you got that bottle.
So, are you sick and tired of the whiskey trolls running your fun online? Well, that's why we started Bourbon Real Talk Community. Congratulations. Let me know what you think when you open it up.
Hey, welcome to the group. Let me send you over a sample of Blanton's Gold and straight from the barrel. See how you like those.
I remember back to my first bottle of Blanton's. It was the birthday to my son, and we enjoy it every year on his birthday. Congrats.
So if you're looking to connect with some people online who aren't, head over to facebook.com and join Bourbon Real Talk Community today.